it's me, your favorite third year at the Yale School of Architecture, and today begins the 3-day countdown to my final. My name is Miranda, and I've been in grad school for the last 3 years since I decided to put my art career on hold. So today begins full production mode for my very last graduate studio. As usual, I arrive to the building as early as I can to soak in the quiet and just enjoy the last few days of working in Rudolph. That rhino wheel of death you saw earlier means we're off to a great start. While I'm working, I wave to a couple second years as they head home to sleep and shower before their review in a few hours. We joke about how I am typically the signal for people to go home because everyone knows how early I arrive. I wish them luck on their core 4 reviews. But here's the aftermath of their day. My year was absolutely impressed with the level of detail and design they reached in the urban studio. Many of the projects have these huge, amazing models. And speaking of models, it's time to start working on mine. I'm back at my desk to sand and spackle 3D prints as they're completed to prep them for paint tomorrow. While I work, here's a quick elevator pitch of what I've been up to this semester. I am a student in the Bass Developer Studio, and our semester is focused on the redevelopment of the Rye in Amsterdam. It's a 1 million square foot single-story convention center whose leadership is ready to diversify its uses. So far, it essentially turns its back on the surrounding neighborhood, and any updates that's been made seems ad hoc, and that's been going on since the 60s. My studio partner and I propose a Rye that becomes an urban playground for Amsterdam, a hinge between the Schiphol airport and its historic city center that we're all familiar with. Our design focuses on public transit and housing for both student and young professionals who can benefit from the trade shows at the Rye. We aim to accomplish this by proposing building housing in the empty spaces, first to relieve Amsterdam's housing crisis, and to slowly stack the Rye's existing facilities along the highway. This will make space for housing to clean the interior of the site and produce the amenities needed to support a new neighborhood such as galleries, restaurants, a library, and community center. These will be located near and within the historic hall, which we propose should be given back to the community for all of Amsterdam to enjoy. Rewatching this footage, I look so calm and collected compared to how I was freaking out on the inside. This felt like the closest I'd ever cut it to a final review, and I was anxious about getting everything done. Advanced studios are all about bigger drawings to match bold ideas, and the pressure is crippling. In addition, there's all the elective work due the following week that you willfully forget about because there's no way you have time to work on it. The only thing keeping me going is that no matter how Friday goes, we'll celebrate no matter what. With most of the model prep out of the way, it's time to get back to my computer to work on models that'll produce the line work for our final section and Axon. I'm also working on these smaller vignettes of the neighborhood that we envision, taken from the point of view of a bicycle because Amsterdam. So I've been saying we and our this whole video, but I'd like to introduce you to my studio partner, Echo. She is trying to get my attention by saying that I'm the queen of time management, but really I'm just tired and forgot that I was filming. She is a trooper and is going to keep working on our digital model and the section drawing of our convention center proposal. It is time for me to go home and get some sleep. It is now midnight and I've been here since 5 a.m. I do my best, but it is hard to leave. Everyone is busy and productive and in a chatty mood. We know we'll miss these moments in a few months, and we just want to soak in as much time with each other as possible. Fanny comes over to fawn over all the colors in our model, and Kevin stops by to ask a laser cutting question. He is using these little cars that we made in Core 4 together and is very proud of the way that they came out. So we're back a few hours later, and the sun is just starting to peek across York Street into the 4th floor pit of Rudolph Hall. I'm painting our model pieces today, so that means it's going to be a good day. But first, I need to take a moment to clean my desk and get organized before heading to the spray booth in the sub-basement. And then, as usual, a lot happens that I don't film because I am running on very little sleep and have so much to do. But I noticed that the sunset is really nice, so I take a quick break and head to the rooftop terrace while paint dries. On my way down, the review schedule mocks me from the monitor, and I try to rally for whatever may come in the next 24 hours. I'm now on full model duty, and Echo wraps up the last of our drawings in Rhino so we can both take a pass at them in Illustrator. I've printed out all of our different layers of roads, sidewalks, and green spaces from our master plan, and I've cut them out to start gluing them to our model base. For our presentation, we're really diving into our playground theme, and we want to create something colorful and whimsical. Models take a lot of time, but because of my personal preference, I'd rather stay up all night making a model than stay up all night making a site plan. My friends and I uphold our tradition of bar pizza before reviews and have one last moment of fun before we sit at our desks for one last long night, which was made longer by a surprise appearance of our critics and guest jurors from Amsterdam. Finals officially began tomorrow. After the excitement died down, it's back to work. I am getting the last of our drawings in Illustrator and preparing print files. It's sometime around 4 a.m., 23 hours after I first arrived in studio, and I break my own rules and head home before printing. Which is why I have no footage from that morning's pinup, because my computer refused to print and advanced technology took mercy on me and printed for me. But as you can see to the right of our studio professor, we are penned up and ready to go first. After our presentation, I wander around to watch my friends give their final presentations, a strategy to both stay awake and cheer them on. But back in the Amsterdam pit, my studio mates are deep in discussions proposing grand theaters, music production spaces, or a sustainable fashion district. When it's all over, Bjarne gifts us with a bottle of bowls and a plate of herring complete with little flags to celebrate as we circle up for final comments. We were so fortunate to have Paul, the CEO of the Rye, attend our final review. He urged us to be more bold in our designs and commended us on our schemes that he will soon take to the board. But now it's time for the professors to head out to dinner and for us to celebrate. I've written and rewritten this script several times over the last 9 months, trying to figure out what I really wanted to say about all of this. My final semester was my biggest challenge yet, managing my stress, working as a teaching fellow, finding time for my husband. There truly just wasn't enough time in the day. More so, it was isolating. Classmates became dialed in and downright competitive about job hunting. Career fair interrupted midterm research. There's also the understanding you'll move in a few short months to begin the work you've been dreaming of since first semester. For me, there was a bit of a disconnect. I had more tying me down. I felt past the point of living out my 20s in New York like an episode of Friends. I wanted to be closer to family, live slower, and to make art again. It's hard to wipe away the glamour from your eyes that grad school so freely gives. I'm thankful for my time at Rudolph and for my friends who are about to go off and design great things. So this monologue isn't much of a neatly wrapped package, but maybe a moment to genuinely express optimism for the future.